With my experience teaching, I have some tips I can share when choosing curriculum. First, always keep the individual child's needs in mind when planning out homeschooling. For instance, my third grader is advanced in reading and math, but is on grade level on most other subjects. Our kindergartner is already reading about 20 words per minute as we taught her how to read starting at 4 years old. She can already count to 39 and can usually write her letters and numbers with minimal help. So she is slightly ahead of some of her kindergarten peers in some subjects. Next, public school teachers look at the state standards to find what needs met for each grade level and subject each year. The state standards can sometimes slightly change year to year. Put the name of your state and then state education standards in a search. They should come up. Printing these standards off and cross-referencing it with books and workbooks you are considering using will help ensure you are meeting the expectation for each grade level. Standards can vary a bit by state. I personally do not choose one company for all of the subjects. I decide on what meets the standards for each subject separately. You know your child's ability better than anyone else. Consider if they are a child that can usually work independently or if they need more consistent support in every subject. Because my kids are fairly independent for their age, I use this type of planner. This is last year's and how I would structure out the school day for my son. For kindergarten this year, I am using all of the workbooks you see here. I am going to use Eureka Math workbooks that I had on hand, but if I didn't have it, I would use Math with Confidence. Look for repetition of earlier lessons in later lessons. This helps reinforce what they learn throughout the school year. For social studies, it is mostly just introducing the subject to the student. So between these two, I decided to use the free printable workbook I found online instead of the 180 days workbook. I found this neat art book that teaches you drawing and using different mediums. This will be used once a week as an art class that they will do with my husband. This science workbook is not amazing, but it works as an introduction to science along with the science enrichment program my kids are in once a week for the school year. For third grade, here are the workbooks we will be using this year. In math, I decided to use Easy Peasy's Math because it does a good job of referencing old lessons and skills later on in the text, whereas the math skills book does not do that, but outside of that, I do kind of like it. Some curriculums also offer placement tests to help you decide which grade level or lessons of their curriculum your child should start in. For instance, Easy Peasy said to start my son in lesson 90 of third grade math and to start in fourth grade reading instead of third. For reading, I knew I would be using Easy Peasy, but I had to decide on what grade level I felt made the most sense considering his age and ability. After looking through both third grade and fourth grade, I felt comfortable just starting with the fourth grade book, knowing I could always go back to the third grade one if it was ever needed. For language arts, we will also use Easy Peasy, but supplement extra writing lessons using the writing skills book. I think the Easy Peasy language arts book is a little bit better than the language arts skills book. The skills book is great for supplementing when they need extra practice though. For science and social studies, I decided to use ancient history and earth science from Easy Peasy. Their science and social studies options seem good for elementary age students. I have decided to use Easy Peasy for a good amount of the academics this year. After seeing the printed workbooks, I chose to return them and I was able to print a lot of the Easy Peasy workbooks for free at my local library and put them in cheap 3-prong folders. It takes me a few weeks to make final decisions on curriculum. It is an important task. Read reviews and thoroughly look through all of the material for yourself. Next time we will discuss specials or exploratory subjects that you can provide in addition to your core subjects.